Hello, my name is Katie and welcome to another video. It's actually been quite a while since I've filmed. I had a kind of off week in which I had 2 exams and 3 quizzes, so I just wasn't up to doing booktube at that point in time. I had a lot of stuff pre-filmed, so there was still some videos going up, but anyway, it's been about 2 to 3 weeks since I've actually sat down to film, and I'm finally doing it because I recently saw Amrita from the channel Amrita by the Book film the Reread or Pass challenge. It's kind of like Kiss, Marry, Kill, except with books. She borrowed this concept from the channel Moonlit Scrolls, who did the original for this. She created this list of a lot of booktube darlings, shall we say, and you just go through the list, say if you would read them, if you already have read them, would you reread them, or just pass. Now, I had a lot of thoughts when I saw this video, and I was getting ready to leave like the world's longest comment when I decided to just sit down and film it myself. So here we go. Book number 1, Throne of Glass. Okay, I actually really love this series and I would for sure reread it. I am in the minority here in that I prefer Throne of Glass to the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by like a wide margin. Part of my love for the books is that my little sister also really loves them, and so we talk about them a lot, and it's been great fun. There's a lot of nostalgia there, and so I 110% would reread them. The next book is The A Court of Thorns and Roses. No. I read the entire series, was incredibly disappointed by the series, and I'm done. I won't be continuing with the spin-off trilogy or anything else. Next up we have A Little Life. I have not read this one, and I have heard mixed things. Some people kind of say it's akin to torture porn, which seems a little extreme, but I have not read it, so I don't know. Other people say it was the most moving and heart-wrenching book they've ever read in their lives. I feel like it's very polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. I myself am going to pass. I have no interest in doing that to myself. I don't want to do that. I cry enough in my own life. Why would I want to cry about somebody else's? Book 4 is The Cruel Prince. I have read The Cruel Prince, and that was it. I read it. I never continued on with the series because I just didn't really care that much. My sister, however, is a big lover of YA fantasy, and she loves that series. It's like ranking pretty high up on her favorite series. Book 5 is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I have read this and I would reread it. I really enjoyed this book quite a lot. Book 6 is, well, it's The Six of Crows duology. I have read The Six of Crows duology and I enjoyed them. There's a part of me that thinks I would reread them, and then there's a part of me that thinks I definitely would not, and I'm really undecided on this one. Next up, we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Oh, okay. I've heard some mixed reviews on this. The 2 negative ones are from people that I trust when it comes to their taste in books. I did start The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue back in, I want to say October, but I never made it past the first chapter. I just didn't really get sucked in, so I just put it down and I haven't touched it yet, but I will be getting to it hopefully in the next few months. So I guess we're going with I'll read that one. Book 8 is The Poppy War. I have read this and I do intend to reread it because I haven't read the final book in the trilogy. I do own it, but I haven't gotten to it yet, so part of my spring TBR is I'm going to reread The Poppy War and The Dragon Republic and then finish the trilogy. Book 9, Mistborn. I can't do Brandon Sanderson. I read Elantris, and I really did enjoy it, but it was a standalone, and that's why I selected it. They're just too long. The books themselves are too long. The series are just too long. Maybe someday I'll get really ambitious, but for now we're gonna pass. Book 10, The House in the Cerulean Sea. I recently purchased this. It was, I think, in the fantasy section for the Goodreads Choice Awards, and I'm reading all the books on a few of those from a few of those categories, and I plan to do videos on them. That is one of them that I do intend to read. Book 11 is November the 9th. I have not read this. I believe this is a Colleen Hoover book. I'm going to be putting the pictures up in editing, so if I'm wrong. Anyway, no, I don't care. Colleen Hoover is not really my author. Same with Ugly Love. I've never even heard of Ugly Love, so I'm going to pass on that one as well. The Hunger Games. Okay, I read the first 2 books, and I really thought I had read all 3, but I don't think I have, because when I saw the movies, I was very surprised by some of the events that took place. That being said, I have no interest in rereading The Hunger Games, so we're going to pass on that one. Twilight. I did read the first book in the Twilight series. I read it like when it initially came out. It hadn't even gotten any hype yet. I'm pretty sure I was about 14. And I won't be rereading it. I didn't finish the series then. I have no interest in doing so now. Next up we have The Mortal Instruments. Ugh, guys, I tried with this series. I tried so hard. I think I started reading it 2 or 3 times at least, and I just can't get past the first 3 books. I just can't. I just get bored and I don't care. And also the weird Clary, Jace, are they brothers, sisters, are they not? It's just weird and I don't like it. The Infernal Devices, however, I did like. I read them and I enjoyed them. That being said, I have no intention to reread them. I owned them and I gave them to my sister recently. So I read them, they were good, I'm moving on. Sticking with Cassandra Clare, we have The Dark Artifices. No, I couldn't get through The Mortal Instruments. I have no interest in tackling The Dark Artifices. Have you guys seen how long those books are? I swear they're like 1,000 pages each. No. No. Book 18, These Violent Delights. This one I might pick up. I was very intrigued by it when I saw it. I don't remember. It was in one of my new releases videos. And I really liked the looks of it because it was like Shanghai, but like a Romeo and Juliet retelling. So that one I very well might read. Next we have Percy Jackson. I love Percy Jackson. I have reread Percy Jackson, and I probably will again someday. Next up we have A Darker Shade of Magic. No. It's not that I think V.E. Schwab is like a terrible author. I read Vicious and Vengeful and I enjoyed them. I just don't really have any interest in the basic premise of A Darker Shade of Magic, and plus the things I've heard about how you can tell V.E. Schwab is like in love with Delilah Bard makes me not care to read it, because I don't want to read a book where the author is clearly obsessed with one of the characters. The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Okay, so I actually DNF'd this one. Too much. It was too much. It was pretentious and it was boring. Which is funny because I'm skipping ahead a little bit on the list because I think these two should have been placed next to each other. If We Were Villains by ML Rio, I actually really enjoyed. And I think the difference was that it was shorter, and so it moved at a little bit faster of a pace than The Secret History did. The Grisha trilogy, I read the first book. Shadow and Bone, is that what it's called? Yeah, I hated it. And so no, I'm not reading the rest of it. Daisy Jones and the Six. I love Daisy Jones. Like, I love Daisy Jones. I understand she's like an unlikable character. I get that. But I loved her, and I really loved the music in the book. Like, I could almost hear it in my head, which is silly because they're not even real songs. The next book on the list is After, and I'm not really sure what it is, so I'm going to go ahead and say I pass. Ninth House, though, I have read, and it was okay. I don't think I'm going to continue on with the series. Is it going to be a series? Does anybody know? I feel like it was supposed to be a series. That being said, I won't reread it, and I won't continue with the series, but I do still own it, so I guess I liked it well enough the first time around. Anna and the French Kiss. No, YA contemporary is not really my thing, and even when I was reading and enjoying YA contemporary like 5 or 6 years ago, I still never chose to pick that book up, so I guess we're just passing permanently. Next is Radio Silence. I read it and I enjoyed it when I read it. However, I unhauled it because I won't be rereading it. The Hate You Give I have read and I did really enjoy. I probably will never get rid of that book because it is likely that I will reread it at some point in time. I really just think it was a very powerful book, and it made a real difference in society, I think. And the last one is Scythe. I tried. I DNF'd Scythe, and I know that's like an unpopular opinion, but it's what happened, and I unhauled it, so I guess we're passing. Or does it count as read if I DNF'd it? It doesn't matter. We're going with pass because I won't be trying it again. So that was my take on the Reread Pass challenge. Thank you to Moonlight Scrolls for creating this list. This was a heckin' lot of fun. If you want to pick up this list and give it a try, I'm sure she would love to see other people passing this challenge around. If you have any comments on whether I should maybe reconsider my judgment on any of these books, go ahead, leave them in the comments section. Can't promise I'll agree with you, but that's okay. That's okay, it's all in good fun. If you're new here and you like my content, subscribe, stick around. I'd love to see you in my comments. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Bye.